Alright guys, so we're going to be doing a EMV upgrade on an Ovation 1 dispenser. Basically we're going to be replacing this QVGA and the card reader, replacing that with a secure card reader, and the QVGA will go to a color VGA with Innovation TV, and of course the cat board will also be changed out. So we'll go ahead and get that started and show you how to do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this entire bezel insert that holds in the cat board. That whole thing goes away. All the cables connected to the cat board are also thrown away. None of those will be reused. The only thing you're going to obviously keep is your current loop coming from underneath the dispenser. The card reader is going to go away, as well as the cables here and all cables on your SPM except for the soft keys and the printer. Everything else goes. So we'll pull all that stuff out and show you the next step. Okay, so we've got the QVGA bezel insert removed and the VGA bezel insert installed. You can see I've removed all the cables that were coming over here. It's pretty gutted. We're going to go ahead and install the soft keys now. You can tell which side goes to which because they actually gave you a short cable and a long cable. So the short cable is going to go to the left side, long cable is going to go to the right side. So we'll get this done and then start running all the new cables and install the secure card reader. Okay, so the secure card reader is mounted. It is grounded to the SPM with the included grounding strap. We're going to go ahead and hook up the cables for it. And they plug right down here in the SPM. Okay. One thing to note, you'll see that there is an empty screw hole in that top right hand slot, and that is for this secure bolt screw. Just a note, if you do not use this, if you do not get it in there, you do not get it secure, you will breach the SPM. Also note that just like SPMs, the card reader has a mercury tilt switch inside, so do not power the dispenser on before this is installed, or you will breach it and you will have to replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that bolt in now. Okay, so the secure card reader is finished. Security bolts in. We are ready to do our final grounding strap from the SPM to the cat board. Okay, so we're grounded from the cat board to the SPM and the dispenser frame. So we'll start running cables. Okay, so the first cable we install is the USB that goes from the SPM to the first slot on the cat board. Okay, so the next cable is what we're using to power the cat board. It's going to plug into the power distribution board in the dispenser. It's going to go from there to the SPM, up to the main sales display, finally over to our cat board. Alright, the next cable we're installing is for our speakers. It's going to go from the bottom right hand corner of our cat board. It's going to branch off and go up to both of our little frog speakers. Okay, the next cable to run is going to go from J21 and J23 on the iGEM. It's a Y cable. The blue and white and purple split of the cable is going to go down here through the dispenser to the B side. The A side is going to get the blue, white, purple, and yellow wires. They're going to come over to your cat board, and it's going to be the blue and white on the 2-pin, followed by the yellow and white, and then the purple and white. Okay, so next we installed the 485D box. This is what allows our cats to communicate with the Connect box in the building. So what we did is mount this to the center frame of the dispenser. Your current loop that comes from the underground or the junction box in the dispenser is going to go to the BB bus, which is on the right hand side as you're facing this, and it's going to come with a Y cable. It's going to go into the LF bus. This Y cable is going to go to each cat board. It's our current loop on the A side and the B side. We also have 2 Cat 5 cables that are also going to go to each cat board, A side and B side, and then we run our power from the base of the unit down to the power supply board. Okay, next we install our 24 volt power supply. Just bolts right up to the top side of the dispenser, right next to the other one. In the Wayne manuals, they actually recommend that you mount it down here, but to do so you have to remove the iGem, and the cable run is kind of a tight. So we found that mounting it up here across from the existing power supply works pretty nicely. From the power supply, you've got a white cable that connects to the top. It goes to the A side and the B side. This cable is routed over to the board that sits above your red IX cat or jade board, depending on which configuration you have, and that powers the backlight for your VGA. Okay, so at this point we have everything installed. Secure card reader, cat board with VGA, connect box, power supply, and all of our cabling has been dressed. So at this point we are ready to load the software on the IX cat board. Just a note, Dresser Wayne is shipping the red IX cat kits configured for QVGA, even though they are mounted to the back of a VGA. Don't ask me why. So in order for this to work, you do have to load it with software to give it the VGA drivers. And the way we're going to do that is you're going to put a thumb drive in any of these other available USB slots. You're going to power the dispenser on once you have inserted the USB drives on both sides of the dispenser, the A side and the B side. You're going to give it 20 minutes. At the end of 20 minutes, you're going to power off the dispenser, remove the USB drives, and power it back on. Once it's powered back on, it can take up to 10 minutes, but it'll go from a black screen to an upside down screen showing the Wayne logo, at which point you're ready to configure, set your screen orientation to get it right and ready to go. So we'll do that process next. So we've got our thumb drives loaded with the Red IX Pay software, put in the cat boards, are ready to power down the dispenser, or power up the dispenser, and let it do its thing. Also very important, when you do build your IX thumb drives for either the jade boards or the red boards, make sure that you select the correct model of dispenser when you're building the profile. If you do not, it can cause problems down the road. So this particular dispenser is a B12-322, so make sure when you are building your thumb drives that you select the right model. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and power the dispenser down, remove the thumb drives, and then power it back up. Just reach around to this side and grab it. Okay, you'll notice the screen is still distorted. It'll be black with color striations. Don't worry about that. This can take up to 15 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes. Generally it's a lot quicker. It will sit like this for a few minutes and then pop up with the Ovation loading screen, although it'll be upside down. Okay, so after letting the dispenser sit for a couple of minutes, you can see that the Ovation screen popped up upside down. It's going to go ahead and launch into the configuration mode. Once we do that, we'll set it into the correct screen orientation and program our SPM. Okay, so we're in configuration mode and we're going to go ahead and program this. So one thing to note, although the screen is upside down, the soft key assignment is still the same. So we're going to go ahead and tell it no to full travel soft keys, and we're going to go ahead and set our screen orientation. Now we're right side up. Let's cancel through that. Enter your terminal number. I'm on number 1 right now. It's going to ask if we are on the A side or the B side of the dispenser. I'm on the A side, so I'm going to confirm that. That time is incorrect, so we're going to change the time. Always use military time. and we're going to tell it that soft keys are enabled to the POS. We are not going to use extensions or function keys. We are going to enable pump iSense at this location. Always check to make sure if the site's using iSense or not. No scanner on this dispenser, no contactless reader, no Zebra printer, and no Terabyte printer. We are going to select secure card reader, and we're going to tell it that no, it is not a magnetic only card reader. Okay, cancel through the tests, and we're going to set this dispenser for Innovation TV. We do not want to do a pump test at this time, and we don't have a way to scan a barcode, so card reader test after it's done. At this point, it's going to print out a receipt showing all the configuration settings and tell us we're ready to reset. Alright, at this point, the dispenser is going to reset and load and should come back up. Okay, so the dispenser is reset, or the cat board is reset, and we now have our standard screen. Everything's working. Next step is going to be to configure the Innovation TV, and we'll do that and update you.